What's up, guys? UFC 320 is going down. This is my breakdown of the co-main event. I'm going to be breaking down, what I think the fighters should do to win the fight. I'm going to be breaking down what makes Cory Sandhagen a unique challenge to Merab and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to give an official prediction at the end, so stick around for that. Or skip to it if you want. But I recommend that you watch. Okay, advantages for Merab. Physicality and strength. This is a big one. This was very evident when he fought Sean O'Malley, who is a long, lanky guy, just like Cory. They're not the strongest. They're not, huge, jacked guys who are insanely strong. Merab is insanely strong. If he gets his hands on Cory, he will be able to manhandle him a little bit, and that's going to make it hard for Cory to defend the takedowns, get out of the clinch. So this is going to play a big factor. Um, Another advantage that Merab has is the wrestling. Obviously, he's got very good wrestling. He's got quick takedowns. He's super fast. And he's got great single legs, which we're going to get into later, but that's very important. He's got great cardio. Everybody knows this about Merab. He doesn't gas out. He's like an Energizer bunny. That's the number one thing that you think of when you think of Merab is the cardio, his ability to go all 5 rounds hard the whole time, shooting takedowns every 30 seconds, and durability. He's got a great chin, and more importantly, great recovery. It's going to be super hard to finish him, and that is going to be a big deal. Now, advantages for Cory. The striking, that's a pretty obvious one, I think. The distance management, he's a dynamic striker. He's throwing spinning back kicks, spinning wheel kicks, things like that. He fights from both stances, and he's going to have a range advantage. He's got a reach advantage. He's taller. So when they're at kicking range, Cory is going to be better. Um, yeah, that covers all the advantages. Like they're not really advantages; they're more like strengths. But I didn't think of that. What makes Cory unique? Jiu-jitsu slash leg locks slash scrambles. So this is the first part of what makes Cory unique. You can see here versus Davis and Figueiredo. That wasn't like an accidental injury. Cory knew what that position was. It's a 50-50 position, and he was able to win the fight because of his incredible jiu-jitsu knowledge. You can see here versus TJ Dillashaw, that submission attempt completely ruined TJ Dillashaw's knee for that fight. If the judges knew that, he probably would have got the round and could have won him the fight. That is going to be very important versus Merab because Merab has very fast footwork. He moves around a lot. He's moving around a lot. If you can take his legs from him, take his movement, he's going to be a sitting duck, and that is when Cory is going to thrive. So that is a big thing that we should be considering. Another thing with the leg locks, you don't have to use them to try and get a tap. You can use them just to inflict some damage and create some space to be able to stand up to your feet or cause a scramble. And Cory, he's hard to hold down, hard to control him, and, he's just a very talented grappler. He's way better than someone like Sean O'Malley in prolonged grappling exchanges and getting back up to his feet and, actually causing a threat with submissions. All Sean O'Malley really has with his jiu-jitsu game is a triangle and an armbar off his back, which just doesn't work against somebody like Merab. So this is what makes Cory unique. This is the first time Merab is going to be going up against something like this. Umar doesn't have this ability. He doesn't go for leg locks. Dagestanis don't do that. So this is a unique challenge for Merab. Next, dynamic striking and distance management. Like I said earlier, he loves his flying knees. He's got great timing, and he's very good at keeping the fight at the range where he wants it at. So that is going to be an important ability because if he can stop Merab from just rushing in and grabbing hold of him, that means Merab can't touch him. He can't take him down. And Cory's going to have the advantage in that, open striking range. That is going to be a big deal. So Cory needs to be looking to keep the fight at kicking range where he can take advantage of this. And especially with the flying knees, it's going to be good, like a good counter to Merab just shooting takedowns constantly. He's going to know that danger is there. So This is a big point. This is another thing that makes Cory unique. Sean O'Malley is another guy who has great distance management. Um, and I would say he's a little more dangerous, but I think Cory is a little bit more dynamic. And yeah, I just think he's just a different kind of challenge. He's not going to step back and crack you with the right hand, but you don't know what is coming at you with Cory Sandhagen. He fights very well from both stances. And yeah, this is the next thing that makes him unique. Now, how can Merab beat him? Number one, patience. Don't rush into range, because if you do, you're going to get cracked with a flying knee, and that is going to be bad. You don't want that. You don't want to get hit with a flying knee. Now, you can see here, Merab has Sean O'Malley's back to the fence, but he's not rushing forward. This is something I noticed in that second O'Malley fight, especially. He wasn't just bulldozing his way through O'Malley. He was being intelligent with his pressure. Merab's striking has leveled up. He's not the same guy who just used to close distance like a bat out of hell. He's actually intelligent. He feints a lot. He moves a lot. He doesn't just run into range. He's got good defense, and it's hard to catch him because he's so fast, and you don't know what's coming. Merab, what he does is very basic, but at the same time, you don't know what's coming because he mixes everything up so well. So this is number one, patience. Don't rush into range. That is the biggest thing, in my opinion. Now, number two, single leg takedowns. Figueiredo was able to get several of these on Cory Sandhagen. This is Merab's best takedown, in my opinion. And I think with his physicality advantage, if he can get a hold of a single leg, he is going to get Sandhagen down. And you got to be watching for those single legs if you're Cory. Number three, feints. This is a big thing that I want to talk about. Cory Sandhagen is the kind of guy who thrives in a fight where he can, settle into it, make his reads. So if Merab can get the pressure going and he can start feinting, it's going to get Cory overthinking. It's going to confuse him. He's not going to know what's coming. And Merab is going to be able to get those takedowns. He's going to be able to land good shots on the feet. So the feints are very important. When you watch Merab, it's almost like he's shadow boxing. Like he's shadow boxing at range, but he's just feinting. He's level changing. He's going up. He's going down. He's throwing kicks. Next thing you know, he'll feint. Then he'll come at you with 3 punches and shoot a takedown. So it's very hard to get your timing versus Merab. You don't know what's coming next, and you don't know when it's coming. And that is why you rarely see him get countered, even though he has a style that a lot of people would consider, like defensively irresponsible. So the feints are another big thing for Merab. Last thing, smart pressure. Now, this goes back to what I talked about earlier. Don't rush into range, trying your best to get the takedowns. Settle into the fight a little bit. Just take a step back. And Merab needs to pressure slowly. He needs to just move forward, but not too quick. Keep feinting, keep at it, and he will be able to back Cory up. And another big thing for Cory, he's going to have to pressure too. So it's going to come down to who can pressure more effectively. And I'll get into what I think in my official pick in just a second. But this is another big thing for Merab. You cannot get reckless. You cannot leave yourself open. He needs to feint, throw combos. Don't throw a single shot and just stay there. You need to get in and out of range, or get into range, throw some punches, quickly shoot a takedown. And I think Merab is capable of this. He's done this versus, Sean O'Malley. He's done this versus Umar. I think he can do it. But game plans. Merab, this is like a summary of what I've been talking about. Smart pressure, feints, mix up the strikes and takedowns. Don't throw strikes and then shoot takedowns. You need to combine them. You don't pick one. Merab should be throwing like a 1-2, switch to a takedown. Or maybe feint a takedown, come with the overhand. You can't do one or the other. You need to combine them. The single legs, don't rush, and overwhelm Cory with his feints and use your physicality. I think if Merab can, get in the clinch early, start landing his knees to the thigh, get the body lock, just tire Cory out. Um, he's gonna have a very successful fight, and that is the game plan for Merab, in my opinion. For Cory, get Merab to back up. He's gonna have to put the pressure on Merab because Merab is a guy who does not really fight going backwards. If Cory can negate that pressure, and to do this, he's going to have to, be a little more aggressive than he normally is. But I think, excuse me, guys, I'm coughing up a storm. Let me pause the video real quick. Yeah, like I was saying, Cory's going to have to be more aggressive. And the way he's been talking about this fight, I think he will be. He's going to put the pressure on. He's going to be looking to do damage. And second thing, go for the leg locks to do damage and to, get space to scramble back up to your feet. Knees up the middle, very important because Merab is going to be shooting a lot of takedowns, and keep the fight at range. You don't want to be in close with Merab because it's going to be too easy for him to just throw a couple punches and shoot a takedown. You want to keep the fight at that range where he's not able to just shoot. So those are the game plans for both of them. Now, for my official pick, I'm going to pick Merab by a close 48-47 decision. And the biggest factors are just the physicality. I think all the things I've said about Cory, he is capable of doing them, but Merab is just going to be way stronger than him. And if he can get in the clinch, I don't think Cory's just going to be able to get out. It's going to be hard for him to, get up from takedowns. Even if he's going for leg locks, Merab is going to disengage. So I think the game plan is there for Cory, but enacting it is a whole, it's a whole other story. So I'm going to pick Merab, but I think Cory Sandhagen is being overlooked going into this fight. He's like a plus 320 underdog, which I think is ridiculous. He has every chance in the world to win this fight. So let me know, what do you guys think of the fight? Who are you picking? Do you think Cory stands a chance? Do you think Merab is going to finish him? What do you think happens? Let me know in the comments, and enjoy.